Good morning. How are you today?
Wow.
Very good. All right. Today we're in the last lecture in this semester in this course. We're going to do some revision for a lot of the things that we actually looked at and focused on throughout the course. There's some things that I really, some topics that I discussed with you throughout the course, and this is not a very exhaustive list of things, but at least these are the most important things that I would like you to pay attention to whenever you're writing your academic paragraphs. The first thing is to notice is that whenever you're writing your paragraph, you should always provide good reasons and examples. So you have a topic sentence, you have a clear idea mentioned in your topic sentence. What you really need to do afterwards is to provide good support. Good supporting sentences, good reasons, and very clear and relevant examples. Another thing that I would like you to pay attention to is make sure that you maintain sentence variety. That is to say, it's not enough just to write simple sentences. A good writing, a good piece of writing is one that has simple sentences, compound sentences, and complex sentences and complex compound sentences. And also, please pay attention to subject-verb agreement, because this is some kind of a very common problem for a lot of you. Make sure that you maintain the subject-verb, that the verb agrees with the subjects. Okay, the boys are, not the boys is. One of the problems is. One of the problems is. The problems are. So we have to make sure that we maintain subject-verb agreement. And also we have to maintain and to understand sentence punctuations. We learned a lot about capitalization rules. We learned about comma rules, when to use a full stop, when to use a comma, a semicolon, and colon. So these, please go over these topics and the lecture slides that we talked about, that we used in the class, and make sure that you focus on and learn and practice using punctuation marks in a very good way. And also avoid run-on and comma splice problems, okay? You have to, in other words, you have to punctuate your sentences clearly. Two sentences have to be well connected using good punctuation marks, either a full stop or a semicolon or a colon, and so on. And also, a big topic in this course is sentence fragments. You have to avoid sentence fragments. For example, because it was raining yesterday, this is a fragment because it does not express a complete idea or a complete thought. So we need to complete it. Because it was raining yesterday, I had to stay at home, for example, or I stayed at home, and so on. And also avoid making very long sentences. Okay, very long sentences, because I see this quite often. Another topic that we talked about is noun pronoun agreement. So the pronoun must agree with its antecedent or with its noun, the noun it refers to. So this is also another important topic. Finally, the last two things is avoid making spelling mistakes. Okay, this is also another common thing that you have to make sure that you proofread your writing after you finish. Okay, go over every word that you wrote and make sure that you avoid making these very common spelling mistakes. And finally, don't forget to mention or to write a concluding sentence. These are some of the issues, some of the topics that we covered in this course, and you need to pay attention to. Is this clear?
Yes.
All right, let's do some practice, and let's look at these two sentences and try to fix the problems in these two sentences. Okay? Yes, please. All right, take some time and look at these two sentences first and try to fix all of the problems that you can see in this in these two sentences. Yes, please. So issues such as spelling mistakes or noun-pronoun agreement or subject-verb agreement or clarity or punctuation or run-on sentences and so on and so forth. Alright, let's see. What about the first one? What sort of problems do we see in the first example? Did you notice any problems here? Really, I see television slightly in these days with limited programs that I can follow. Okay. Yes, please, here. Okay, so this is a very clear problem that you have to avoid. What is that? We have A and program. So this is something that is related to number agreement. Okay, whether it is singular or plural. Is that correct? Yes, so it has to be limited programs, not a limited programs. Okay, so there has to or limited program, not program. So it's about number agreement. We have to make sure that that we have agreement in terms of singular or plural references. Okay. All right. Anything else? Yes, please.
That I can follow.
That I can follow. What's wrong here? It can. You never always modal verbs are followed always or must be followed by the infinitive without. So I can go. They should go, not they should went, for example. So I can follow. Very nice. So what about the second sentence, please? To conclude, ministry exert efforts to alleviate the traffic accident on Gaza Street, but this needs more time and more cooperation from the citizens who are drivers and pedestrians. There are a few problems here. Yes, Ruan, please.
We need a comma before
But, okay, so this is something we said. Very nice. We need a comma here because we said that before coordinators we need, before fanboys, we always need a comma. Anything else that we should notice here in this example? Okay, the ministry. Alright, so ministry has to be capital letter. The ministry. Okay, now what we see here is subject verb agreement. The ministry exerts. We need an S here طبعا for the subject verb agreement. Anything else? Yes, please.
This needs.
But this again, we need some subject verb agreement here. But this needs. Don't forget that subject verb agreement. This needs more time and more cooperation from the citizen who are drivers and pedestrians. Yes, please.
Traffic accidents on Gaza Street.
Okay, the traffic, alleviate the traffic accidents. It's better, of course, to use the accidents on Gaza streets. It's not just one street on Gaza streets. Okay, there's something finally here that we need to fix. It's very clear. It has to do with number agreement. Check it. Where is the problem with the number agreement? Yes, Delia, please.
And more cooperation from the citizens who are.
Okay, very nice, very nice. So the number from the citizens
Who are.
But you notice that it has to be plural.
Verb agreement.
Yes, number agreement. From the citizens who are pedestrians and drivers. So what we see here is a clear example of number agreement problems and subject verb agreement problems. You always have to be able to spot these difficulties, these problems, and try to fix them. Now, let's look at the second group of examples of problems that we can see in this case. Yes, please. Read very carefully these two more sentences and try to fix, identify the problems first and fix them then. Alright, let's see. Alright, to solve the problem of car accidents, etc., etc. Do you see any problems here in this sentence? There are at least a couple of problems, very clear problems here. Alright, consider. Alright, yes please. Yes.
To solve the problem of cars accident on Gaza City, full stop, capital letter
Alright.
government.
Alright, so do we need a full stop here, Elena? No, of course not. We don't. Why is that? Because this is sort of an introductory phrase. The comma here is perfectly fine. There is nothing wrong here. It's to go in the park, for example, comma. To drive very quickly, comma. So there is no problems here. Actually, we need a comma here. There is no problem with the comma here. There is something else. Yes, please.
The government should do the following column.
Very nice. Should do the following. Okay? Alright, so instead of the comma here and first, and then this is something we call comma splice, because we have two sentences. So the best way is either first we have to get rid of this comma, alright? Either full stop, okay? First, comma, or we can just say a colon like your classmate said and start a new sentence. So the problem is in the comma here. We need to get rid of it because it's not the correct use of comma here. Alright? I would prefer just a full stop first and so on. Yes. Anything else? Yes, please. With where about car accidents? Do we need? Yes, of course. There is no problems here. Car accidents. Oh yes. Very nice. Very nice. So car accidents. Very nice. Alright, I didn't even notice this until now. Alright. Car accidents in Gaza City. Not on Gaza City. In Gaza City. Alright. First, the government should construct new roads. No, just pay attention. There is no need for a capital letter. Full stop. In addition, comma.
There is no need to.
Alright. So, in addition to build out, since we started a sentence, a new sentence here, we have to turn this into a sentence, otherwise it would be a fragment. For in addition, it or the government, yes, the government should build tunnels and bridges first. Okay? Is this clear? So we basically here started a new sentence. In addition, comma, the government should build tunnels and bridges. All right? The C number 4. So what we see here is always make sure that you have very clear punctuation. What we see here is clear examples of problems in punctuation marks, especially the common. Yes, please. Number 4. To conclude.
conclude هنا first
We need a common. Very nice.
a lot of people use a Facebook
Okay, so do we say at Facebook? No. So the correct way is
Facebook.
Facebook.
And one where?
Facebook, yes, and exactly. It's capitalized and it's one word. Anything else? Daily? Daily on his is on there. Yes, why is it there?
Because people
Because it is about people. So this is something we talked about before. It is noun, pronoun, agreement. Not his, there, because people is clearly plural. Yes. Need to things that are excellent. So things that are. Why? Again, because it's number agreement. Things that are necessary for people, etc., etc. So what we see here are examples of number agreement and noun pronoun concord or noun pronoun agreement. Is this clear? Alright, let's conclude with this last example on this topic. This is a paragraph. Alright, and what I'd like you to do is to fix all the problems that you can see in this paragraph. Yes, please. So issues such as, like we said before, the list of things. Number agreement, pronoun agreement, pronoun agreement, punctuation marks, and so on. Take notes of all the problems that you can see in this paragraph. Alright, let's see. What sort of problems do you see in this paragraph? What is the clearest problem here? The one that is just in your face. Punctuation. So there is a serious problem of punctuation. What is this problem? What do you notice about? Do you notice any full stops here? Sorry. So it's basically, this is not a paragraph. This is one very, very long sentence. It started here. Do you see any full stops? No. So this is wrong. This is a serious problem in punctuation. This is a very long sentence. This is not even a paragraph. Okay, so we have to be careful about using punctuation. Okay, avoid making very long sentences like this one, and of course don't make very short sentences. This is the idea of maintaining sentence variety. All right. Now, let's fix this big problem of punctuation. Clearly, there is a big problem of punctuation here. Iman, please.
Succeed in a job interview, comma.
Comma. All right. So, but we need here something before, and that. Okay, is that correct? Just a small space to start the paragraph with. So we need to indent this paragraph, and then to succeed in a job interview, comma. You should take these recommendations. Yes, this is the first sentence that we need to. Yes. So you should. Very nice. What did you say? What, please? To succeed is a small letter. Is that correct? Yes. Succeed is not capitalized. The S here should be small letter. Very nice. Thank you for paying attention to this. These recommendations. Full stop. Alright. Start a new sentence. You has to be capitalized and then should small letter. You should prepare yourself. Well or good? Well. Exactly. So you should prepare yourself well, not prepare yourself good. And then we have full stop. So this is something we call comma splice. Because we have basically two sentences and there is no punctuation between them. So let's just get rid of this comma. It is not necessary here. And then full stop. You must dress professionally. There is no need for. You must dress professionally and you should arrive early. Now arrive, small letter, and early. Full stop. In addition, yes.
We need a comma before and.
Okay, very nice. Because and here is a coordinator. Very nice. So full stop. In addition, is that correct? In addition, comma. You should take. We can say take enough time. So as an imperative or something nice. So you should take enough time in the restroom before you go into the interview. Means for start. To organize your ideas. Related to a field, to a job field, make sure you have a positive attitude by taking. So what we see here. Okay, we have one sentence after another with only a comma between them. So this is a problem of comma splice. So we can quickly fix because we have to rewrite a lot of the things here. To organize small letters. So there is two problems here, mainly comma splice and capitalization rules, problems in capitalization. So to organize your ideas related to a job, make sure you have a positive attitude. Full stop. Now, in addition, I could use something like a connector here. Moreover, in addition, furthermore, not only that, but what is more, and so on. Furthermore. Furthermore. I should use some transitions here, including additions. Talking about your achievements and your skills. So I shouldn't be talking, should be talk. Is that right? Talk about. Or we can say you should talk about your achievements and your skills and abilities. Sorry? No, it should be right. Your skills, your achievements and skills. Alright, so that's fine. If we used you here or we leave it out, this is absolutely fine. Okay? Let's look at the last sentence. Finally, you will be better if those recommendations were taken.
Final capitalized.
Finally, it has to be capitalized. Finally, comma. You will be better if those recommendations are aware.
Take
Taken is
Dr.
a
Answer.
small.
Answer.
And against answers is a small letter. So what we see here is a lot of problems that we can see in relation to capitalization and comma splice. And this is what makes this paragraph really problematic. We need to fix all the punctuation problems. Yes, please.
These recommendations, we can, why we cannot put column?
Yes, of course, we can put a colon here because we are introducing a list of things. Or we can just say full stop. First,
Yes.
you should prepare yourself well. Second, you should talk about your achievements and so on.
And
Yes,
here,
please.
those recommendations and up these recommendations, what do you think?
You will be better if those recommendations. This is fine. It's just about, as we call it, about deictic. It's a deictic reference. If those is usually used for things that are very close to you. And these are for things that are far away, okay? Either materially or even sort of at a more sort of an abstract level. So this is fine. But I would say either those and those or these and these, not mixing these and those together. Okay?
After
Excellent, please.
we put full stop.
Where else? Where else?
Your skills, abilities.
This is fine. We can say and abilities, or sometimes the forward slash is just to say this and this. Okay? Alright? So, just to recap on a lot of things that we talked about, and we need to pay attention to. Always make sure that you have these points in mind, and you will be tested again on many of these things. Okay? Make sure that you always provide good reasons. You have a proper paragraph structure, topic sentence, which has a central idea, then supporting sentences, and then we have a concluding sentence. The rest of issues that we talked about at the beginning of this lecture is subject-verb agreement, comma splice, avoid run-on sentences. Fragments is a big issue that we need to address. Noun-pronoun agreements and a lot of problems related to spelling mistakes. Is this clear? Alright, so I just need you in the exam, inshallah, just to be careful when you are writing your sentences or writing your paragraphs. I wish you all the very best in the exam and in your academic life and in the other courses that you will be taking in the next semesters and next years. Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure, and I look forward to seeing you in future semesters and future courses, inshallah. Thank you, and all the very best. Thank you.